charges.
And on the foreign front this evening, Donald Trump faces trial in the Senate after becoming the first U.S. president to be charged with misconduct in office for a second time.
We have sports and entertainment as well over the next 60 minutes. We're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV, channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com.
Certainly, and let's get started with our very first story this evening as Parliament reconvenes tomorrow, Friday, January 15, after the infamous election of Speaker and subsequent inauguration. Mercy Darling Loco takes a look at the initial work the House would have to execute.
We like it. Keep wasting your own time. You have a president to swear in.
In what can be described as the most vicious attempt at electing a Speaker of Parliament, longest-serving MP Alban Kisford Sumana Bagbane received the nod. The former Nadoli Kalio MP was elected in the most dramatic way after the military stormed the House over prolonged chaotic situations. Two meetings between the leadership of both sides of the House and the Speaker have ended in a deadlock with no firm agreement on how sitting arrangements will be in the 8th Parliament. Both sides of the House are holding firm to an entrenched position, on each side arguing it is in the majority. But the leader of the MPP caucus, Oseche Mensah Bonsu, has indicated that the majority side in the 8th Parliament will be known on Friday when the House begins sitting. He admitted he has to work closely with the NDC caucus to ensure government business is dealt with expeditiously.
I think government is going to have to be very much more consultative as the majority leader. And the history of our parliament will suggest to you that there's no majority leader who has reached out to the other side than I have done. But I have to do more. I noticed that I have to do more. Now that the numbers are at near parity, you have to do more to reach out to members. In that regard, you will be encouraging greater transparency and accountability on the part of government, which is what Parliament is required to do.
One of the immediate tasks the House will have to engage will be the formation of various committees. One of such committees will be the Appointments Committee to vet nominees for various ministerial portfolios to be appointed by the President. The 7th Parliament had 14 standing committees and 16 select committees. There was also one ad hoc committee. The standing committees included the Appointments, Business, Committee of Selection, Finance, Gender and Children, Government Assurance, Privileges, as well as the Public Accounts. For select committees, there were the Communications, Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Defense and Interior, Education, Employment, Social Welfare and State Enterprises, Foreign Affairs and Health. The ad hoc committee was the Poverty Reduction Strategy. The Business Committee of the House, with the majority leader as chairman, is expected to outline the activities the House would be embarking on.
Now, let's stay a bit further in Parliament, because in relation to this issue with the committees and the chairpersons of the committees in this 8th Parliament, the NDC caucus is demanding equal chair at all standing and select committees of the House after ceding sitting at the right-hand side of the Speaker of Parliament to the NPP caucus. Now, this was after the independent former Member of Parliament, Andrew Amakwesiama, notified the Speaker of his decision to sit and do business with the new Patriotic Party caucus in Parliament.
In the lead-up to the swearing-in of MPs in the 8th Parliament, the NDC caused a stir by occupying the right side of the Speaker, insisting they are in the majority. After days of back and forth, the independent former MP officially has notified the Speaker of where to sit and conduct business. Both the governing MPP and the opposition NDC have split the seat in Parliament evenly, with the independent member of Parliament for forming a break in the tie.
We have no difficulty sitting on the left. We are responsible Ghanaian citizens. The people of Ghana want to see Parliament function and function effectively to serve their purposes and to serve their needs. What happened the last time did not please many. And therefore, in the interest of peace and ensuring that Parliament functions effectively to serve the needs of the Ghanaian people, my side will have no difficulty sitting on the left whilst we make the demands that our strength be respected in the composition of committees and in the determination of leadership of committees. But even more importantly, they appreciating that Formula 1 is only arithmetic.
At a news conference in Parliament, the NDC side says it will take nothing short of an equal composition of committees reflecting the political party representation.
The NDC caucus will insist that the composition of committees of this 8th Parliament should reflect in its very current nature. We will insist, because this is the first time we are having 137. Therefore, composition of committees must reflect the character and strength of the political parties and the numbers of their elected MPs. Given the current numbers, there must be strict sharing of the leadership of the select committees by the two sides of the House. We've been discussing with the Speaker and the leadership of the MPP group, led by the Honorable Oseiche Mensah Bonsu. And we think that they should chair 8 and the NDC should chair 8. This will be a true reflection of the different shades of opinion in the current Parliament as envisaged in the 1992 Constitution and under Article 103 and Standing Order 144 of the Standing Orders of the House.
Haruna Idrisu says the formal declaration of the independent MP Andrew Amwakwesiama to do business with the MPP side does not make them the majority in the House. Moments after the NDC side's news conference, the MPP caucus noted the stand vindicated by their earlier position that they are majority of the House.
I started off by saying that I believe I'm going to be the majority leader in the shortest possible time or soonest, because you know what has happened. And when we met the Speaker 3 days ago, he determined for us that is congruent to what I have been saying all this while, that where the former MP decides to pitch camp will determine where the pendulum will swing. And so he said, and fortunately, the second Deputy Speaker, who is the former MP, was with us. So he said, a lot will depend on you. I will encourage you to come with a declaration, and then I would announce the declaration in plenary.
Leader of the MPP, Oseiche Mensah Bonsu, quizzed the NDC leader of what provisions he was standing on to demand for equal chair of the committees.
So that demand is based on what? That demand is based on what? It's based on what? It's based on what convention, practice, or rule. Did he relate to that? First of all, our rules and conventions and practices relate to this fact that a party that constitutes, or parties that constitute the majority, populate the leadership.
As the 8th Parliament resumes sitting on Friday, pressure is on the whips from both sides of the House and the Estate Department to allocate office spaces to the new MPs.
When the House sits tomorrow, what business are you going to be discussing?
We decided that to allow the machinery of government to run, we will look at the composition of the selection committee, and that selection committee will make a determination on our collective proposals for the composition of the Appointments Committee and the composition of the Business Committee.
Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, still on Parliament, leaders of both sides are sharply divided on how the Speaker assumed the position. The MPP insists the Speaker, Alban Sumana Bagbin, was selected by consensus. However, the NDC disagrees.
The candidate who receives the largest number of votes shall be declared elected. How can you declare a candidate as having garnered the largest number of votes if you don't do the counting? The first proposal that we put on the card was that there was to be a rerun. And my colleagues, after consultation among themselves, said they wouldn't accept that. Then we submitted a fallback plan, which was that we were to deem Bagbin as having been elected and allow for, and I'm quoting myself, allow for cooler heads to prevail. So Bagbin was to be in the chair for 2 weeks. We allow for cooler heads to prevail, and thereafter we have a real run for the office of the Speaker. When I put this down, my colleagues then reclined to still have consultations. After about 10 minutes, they came back to say that idea they couldn't accept. Whereupon I threw it to my colleague Haruna Idrisu, the leader of the NDC caucus, that I've submitted 2 proposals. You have rejected. So what are you suggesting? And then from one among their fold, we had this, that no, we should consider Bagbin as having been elected on account of the fact that 138 ballots were outstanding to be counted, and that to all intents and purposes, all 138 votes were for Bagbin. And I said, by what stretch of imagination? Because in counting out this one, 137, we had to pull out 1 as being a spoiled ballot. So by what stretch of imagination can you conclude that all 138 will be valid votes cast for Bagbin? You are only imagining. So by arithmetic conclusions, I say, what arithmetic conclusion when you have not counted? But we're still in the process of consultations and consensus building. It explains why at the end of the day, when the clerk came to make the announcement, he did not refer to any numbers. That candidate A had these numbers, candidate B had these numbers. On account of the fact that candidate B had much more numbers than candidate A, candidate B is declared the winner.
Whatever it is, by my mother's training, I don't discuss matters that are discussed in the room, outside, publicly. What I do know is that the 8th Parliament has an elected Speaker, Honorable Alban Sumana Bagbin.
And tomorrow, when this 8th Parliament reconvenes, we will bring you the details of the sitting with our parliamentary correspondents. Away from Parliament, let's go into the courts now, because the Supreme Court has granted the motion of amendment filed by the NDC's 2020 presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, challenging the presidential results declared by the Electoral Commission. Godfrey Tanap sat through proceedings today and reports.
In granting the motion for amendment, the court ordered the petitioner to file the motion by close of day January 14. The respondents, that is the President Nana Akufo-Addo and the Electoral Commission, will also file their responses by close of day January 15. The case has been adjourned to January 19 for pre-trial. Earlier, counsel for the first respondent, Justin Amenuvo, opposed the amendment indicating that the petitioner rather filed a writ instead of a petition. In clarifying his position, the court asked him to cross-check the nature of the document, which he did, and concluded it was a petition. Lead counsel for President Akufo-Addo, Akoto Ampao, also opposed the amendment by stressing that since the petitioner made a mistake, he should be kind enough to accept accept the mistake of the first respondent. The court thereby returned after a brief recess and granted a motion for amendment, indicating that the amended error does not affect the substance of the matter. The Supreme Court has also taken a decision for proceedings in the election petition to be telecast live. A member of the NDC legal team, Abraham Amaliba, insisted the Electoral Commission has consistently engaged in incompetence, which he said was exhibited in court.
EC was sworn to by Jim Mensah. So once again, the trademark incompetence of the EC was played out in the court. This is an exhibition of the trademark incompetence of the EC, because what we filed was a petition and not a writ. The court rose, came back, and indicated that the amendment we are seeking was a harmless one. That amendment was not going to change the nature of our petition, and that it has so granted the amendment.
A member of President Akufo-Addo's legal team, Frank Davis, expressed the view since anyone can commit errors, the petitioner should be kind enough to appreciate the mistakes of the first respondent.
It was obvious from the outset that they had committed errors and mistakes in the petition they filed. This was said by the lead counsel himself, Chachishikata, that they were going to correct the mistakes. We were opposed to the application in form and substance. But as you heard the court say, we are all human beings and we make mistakes. So the court ruled that even though they had made mistakes, it would permit them to amend. But in essence, the court is telling all of us that we make mistakes, so we should be kind to the errors committed by others.
Former President John Dramani Mahama was present in court. Peter McMenu represented President Akufo-Addo, and Jim Mensah represented the Electoral Commission. The 7-member panel is chaired by the Chief Justice, Kwesi Eneniyabua, with Justices Yao Apau, Mafusau, Nene Amegache, Professor Nia Shikote, Maria Mowusu, and Gertrude Tokono as members. Godfrey Tanam, TV3 News, Accra. And away from election-related issues, residents of Ashalibotre near Medina in Accra say they continue to live in fear following the continuous presence of the 6-story uncompleted building earmarked for demolition 2 months ago. City authorities in November last year confirmed they were taking steps to pull down the structure.
Some people have been coming around and saying it's a dangerous building because we are not mason or engineers. So they know better. They come here and say, beware, this building may collapse. So we should stay away from the building.
It's been exactly 2 months since we brought you the story of this 6-story structure here at Ashalibotre School Junction, which we were told at the time did not have the required permits from the Environmental Protection Agency and the Adentan Municipal Assembly to be sited right here. But 2 months on, the building still stands despite assurances from the relevant agencies that they were taking steps to ensure the building comes down.
For residents, the continuous existence of this structure means their lives remain in danger.
Iron rod na ya mustina etumi skataba ya ehan ya de tombia nti yesu ntama fo be ama fo bebre customers bebre no eya almost
Apart from the EPA notice posted at the entrance, which was not here on November 17, there appears to have been some modification work to a portion of the fencing. Sources within the Adentan Municipal Assembly say a structural integrity assessment of a building recently conducted revealed the edifice is not safe to be sited here. TV3 News understands city authorities are awaiting a court order before pulling down the structure. The residents say officials from the EPA and the Adentan Municipal Assembly have informed them to move their valuables in anticipation of the official demolition of a structure.
City authorities have been here this year to ask us to pack our belongings and vacate the area ahead of the demolition, but they did not give any timelines.
A carpentry shop at the base of a towering building, which has been shut for months over fears of a possible collapse, remains shut. And until the order from the court is secured, the 6-story structure will remain here, and the lives of residents and commuters will remain at risk. Komla Adum, TV3 News, Accra.
And we'll certainly be on this one until the right thing as expected by the residents there is done. But the strike by the Teachers and Education Workers Union, that's TEWO, is beginning to bite. Now, Joseph Armstrong reports some students of the University of Ghana, Legon, have taken over the job of porters.
It is day 2 of the Teachers and Educational Workers Union strike, and we seek to find out here at the University of Ghana how students are coping without the assistance of their porters as they register for their various halls. Come with me, let's find out how they are coping. This is the Ekwafo Hall. The usual checks conducted by the security personnel here before one is allowed entry was absent. At the main reception of the various halls, porters were also unavailable. These are not official workers here at the Kwafo Hall. These are students who have to step in the shoes of the porters who actually takes charge of everything that happens here. Without them, the students here would have been stranded following the strike.
Fortunately for us, it's just been a day so far, so like things are not that bad yet, and then we've seen them do the work for some time now, so we are able to do some of them. The BAM library at the university was locked to students and the general public. Students told the news team the strike was beginning to bite.
If you have to look at Ekwafo as it stands now, we have the JCR executives who are now working as porters. We have other students who are playing the role of cleaners and carpenters and a whole lot. So what do you think would happen in a span of 2 weeks? This thing is not resolved. So I believe we have a listening government that would take into serious consideration the various demands being made by the membership of TEWO.
Yesterday I had to take over the Porters Lodge, be registering students who have gone through the manual registration process. It was quite unfortunate that we had to direct some of them to go to other halls and lodge with their friends who were still in their rooms because some of the keys had been seized by the porters as part of their strike.
The situation was not different at the Ghana Institute of Journalism and Accra Technical University.
If the TEWO wasn't supposed to be on strike, you could see that the environment would be very clean because the cleaners will actually perform their duties, and then the classrooms will be arranged for the exam setting.
When we went to the exams hall, the place wasn't arranged. The whole class was very dirty, and so we have to do it ourselves before we call the invigilators to come and supervise us.
Many of the students fear the strike by the Teachers and Educational Workers Union could disrupt academic work. Joseph Armstrong, Good Alogbe, TV3.
Well, Joseph Armstrong will certainly stay on that strike issue and will bring you more in subsequent bulletins. But let's turn to the healthcare sector now, as a surge in COVID cases in the country suggests many people may have let their guard down in adhering to the safety protocols. But there's still a number of people who maintain the virus is a hoax because none of their closest relatives nor friends have been infected. Komla Adum has been assessing adherence to the basic mask-wearing protocol in parts of Accra.
It's another day at the Medina market here in Accra. 36-year-old Obo Edum and his friend Nana Kobi, both shoe vendors, are calling out to passers-by, obviously without masks. Despite Ghana's COVID death count crossing the 330 mark, Obo doubts any such virus exists.
And I mean, who will be a Bensuano, although Omuchan with TV some year shady. But I physically need a mean who will be a Yareni be a day, Achino, and I see Yareni be a Kuno. And Tiarena dear, fine Omu body, by to me, Nadia, Mimijin, this says I arena.
Recent happenings in Ghana's parliament during the election of a speaker convinces him even more.
Looking at the parliamentary members now and saying I'm call parliament election about speaker no near, you know. On say fine, most of them no much, but ne be munsu woman monche. And at the same time, and so yes, this social distance. But over the we are no so bon hon the omo ye na. Omankasa kra no mu show example we me say yare bi ani ho.
His friend Kobe agrees only that he feels the pandemic is a fulfillment of a biblical prophecy.
The Bible can money there you woman. Say in Gaza, a member can be a Nancy Dan Bessie, the answer Daniel Betsy. It wasn't near one. So as in the answer, I say, a boy a blaboy. They say, Yale, living in Penful Median Crown, on common show example,
These are the signs of the end time. We just have to believe in God. Our leaders do not show us a good example to follow. I am yet to see anyone in the market infected.
Not even my story about 2 family friends dying from complications of a virus could convince them. Obo Edum and Nana Kobi are just 2 of many Ghanaians who still doubt the existence of a virus in Ghana. Adhering to the safety protocols for many is now a luxury. In commercial vehicles, you'll find all occupants without face masks.
Face mask, 1 city. Face mask, 1 city. Nose mask, 1 city. Nose mask, 1 city. 1 city, nose mask. It's been more than 50 minutes here hawking these nose masks at this bus terminal, and just one individual made a purchase. And meanwhile, many of the individuals who aboard these commercial vehicles are not wearing the mask.
Director of Public Health of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esidu Bequin, wants people to take personal responsibility.
COVID is not gone yet. The threat of COVID around us in terms of the US, the UK, and then the other European countries means that we are not out of the woods yet. So people should ensure that they are conforming to the safety protocols. They are ensuring that they have the safety physical distancing, and then we can be sure that we can be on top of COVID.
Member of a case management team at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Adipa wants people like Obo and Kobe to adhere to the protocols because their statistics are grim.
So far from March till now, we've had about 36 deaths in Reach Hospital alone. We are having more severe cases coming in to the hospital. And so the advice is to maintain the COVID-19 protocol.
Health experts are warning of another wave if the blatant disregard for the basic protocols continue. Komla Adum, TV3 News, Accra.
And it's a clear worry, the non-adherence to the safety protocol. Komla Adom, in having to sell face masks, certainly it's a clear reflection of how much we have relaxed on adhering to the protocol. But let's still stay with COVID. Lead doctor at the Lejekuku Krowo Municipal Assembly, that's Lekma COVID Isolation Center, Teshi here in Accra, has made a strong case for the contact tracers to be re-engaged as the country records more severe cases of the coronavirus. Now, Dr. Emmanuel Mankra told Johnny Hughes on New Day that doctors and nurses currently managing isolation centers have taken that role of contact tracing as an additional responsibility.
December till now, we've been doing contact tracing again. So once you test, all people you're in contact with would also be tested to make sure that you're not the only person who is positive. Okay. And anyone who's also positive, we come in and see that the person is on medication. But there's always a conversation to find out your conditions and how best you can isolate.
When we started this whole fight, we had contact tracers. Do we still have them in the system?
No, we don't.
Where are they? They stopped work?
I think I wouldn't be in the best position to answer why they stopped, but we don't have the contact tracers anymore. It's been some time since we had that. So now basically it's the health workers the doctors and nurses who are managing the patients who would call regularly to find out if the patient is following everything, and yeah, we move on from there.
But you used to work with them, the contact tracers?
Yes.
You were assigned a certain number and you would direct them as to what to do.
Where to go and everything.
When they stopped coming to work, did you ask questions?
No, so all these contact tracers were all health workers in various units who signed up for a period of time.
Right.
So it's not like they are supposed
Permanent
to be there
people.
and they are not there. So they did what they had to do to a point where it was stopped. When our figures started going down, somewhere I think September, October, then that started fading out. So they were assigned, it was an assignment for a particular point in time, which they did. So I don't know if now that cases are going up, we are going to revisit that.
Do you need them?
Yes, I believe we do.
Do
Because
you honestly need the contact traces and
we have a lot of community spread going on. So I think we really need a lot of help. And also more facilities should be helped with the treatment because the numbers are going up and people should take things serious.
Well, meanwhile, the 100-bed capacity infectious disease center at the Ga East Municipal Hospital is now fully operational. The hospital received its first 5 inpatients on January 12. It, however, will target to admit severe to critical cases of COVID-19 to ease the stress of existing health facilities as cases soar.
In July last year, the Vice President, Dr. Baumia, inaugurated the 100-bed infectious disease center at the Ga East Municipal Hospital. The project, which is private-public sector partnership, has a level 2.5 biomedical laboratory, a triage unit, waiting areas, a nurses station, VIP and general wards, a 21-bed intensive care unit, as well as a pharmacy. On January 12, the center received its first inpatients.
2 weeks ago, became functional in terms of the outpatients department. So currently we have about 5 patients on admission. This place has 21 beds, so 5 for critical cases and 16 for high dependency units. However, if it gets full, we may have to spill over into some of the general wards and use them for high dependency cases.
The center will, however, target severe to critical cases of COVID-19 to ease the stress on most health facilities as COVID-19 cases in the country soar. Latest figures from the Ghana Health Service indicates 175 new COVID cases have been recorded. The death toll has now increased to 341, with the active case count at 1,404.
The current trend of COVID in Ghana is more of severe to critical cases. So there's stress on most facilities. So we needed more space. If we had opened earlier on for everybody, mild cases, to walk in, what would have happened is that we wouldn't have bed space for the severe cases. So definitely once we have opened, we are targeting the severe, the critical to be on admission here so that we can take some stress off the existing facilities.
Dr. Kwame advised the public on what they should do if they get COVID-19 symptoms.
What you need to do is go to a facility. Let the facility request for the COVID test to be done. Once a facility requests for a COVID test and is done, the results given back to the facility or given back to the patient to be shown to the doctor who requested. Once it's COVID positive, the onus lies on the doctor to link you up to care. If, however, you get up from your home, walk into a private facility, get a COVID test done, the lab will give you the COVID test result as positive. And then you are stuck. You don't know who to. You can't walk to a doctor and say, I went to do a COVID test. This is my test result. It might not happen that way. But there are also measures in place for the labs. Once they test, they put it into a system called the SOMAS, where we find out. So then districts are able to pick up those.
Let's all do well to adhere to the safety protocol and take that individual responsibility in reducing the spread of COVID in this country. Up next is the MTN video report.
This is your citizen journalist within Dome Kwabena, specifically Kwabena Estate. So residents have to go through this bridge. They cross this bridge, which is in a very deplorable state, every single day. Dome Kwabena Estate. Because of the rains, parts of the wood is just broken, it's wearing off. Children pass through this each day. We are bringing this to the authorities to help us fix this so that we don't lose any lives.
It's interesting, the bridge at the Dome Kwabena Estate. That's the bridge in the estate.
Very worrying. Can't expect anyone to really use it. I'm
hoping that as we show this, the right authorities will move in to do what has to be done. I'll be back shortly. Make sure you can also send your video report 055-1433-044, 055-1433-044. We'll be back shortly with business news. With what I'm saying to stay.
I'm a proud old student of Agri Memorial Senior High School. My school needed a facelift, and Deluxe acrylic paint came in
and did their magic. And wow, the school looks
the touch is simply classic.
The school environment is now conducive for us all to teach and learn.
After the painting, our colors are just phenomenal.
Exquisite, a conducive place to study now.
Proud to be an Amazonian.
The luxury acrylic paints you can't contest.
Help fight the spread of germs. Learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Star 787 Hash is celebrating its winners of 2020. Each week, we've seen one of you win 20,000 Ghana cedis. Also, 8 big jackpot wins between 70,000 Ghana cedis and 920,000 Ghana cedis. And of course, there were 4 lucky brand new Toyota Corolla winners. This year, dear, you for blow. What would you do with 1 million Ghana cedis? Will you buy a house, start that dream business, or make a lifetime investment? Make your dreams come alive. Win this big jackpot with only 5 Ghana cedis this Saturday and be a millionaire. What you waiting for? Pick your phone now and dial star 787 hash to play and win. Star 787 hash. Obiadi. Won't bet to me, Adibi.
Make you start off the year by stepping up with DSTV.
Things are about to get cray-cray. Whoa, okay. And that's important because
DSTV, they come give you more of the entertainment you and your family they like. So fasten your seatbelt. As DSTV take you go higher with more epic live soccer, exciting local drama, and best kids show.
That's a lot.
Sure. My people, all you for do be say, starting from 14th January to 31st March, upgrade your current DSTV package to the next one, and DSTV will bump you up to the one above that at no extra cost. It be that simple.
What?
Come on.
Oh, exciting.
Okay. For example, let's say you have family. All you have to do is pay for Compact, and DSTV will give you Compact Plus at no extra cost.
This is a lot.
Yeah. Follow us with the hashtag DSTV Step Up for more, or call us on 0302 740 540. Terms and conditions apply.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleansoft, my favorite.
Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Can you picture? Jam, boy, I don't know. Is that not your wife?
Okoye, every time your children are falling sick, you don't have money.
Stop, everyone! Baby.
Stop.
What's that TV for tonight? You know I like that sweet-scented insecticide spray. Let's be on the porch. Now the be up in the living room. Bedroom, what do you hear? Me love you, me baby. Of course, I take very good care of my wife and children, so I always win. if you want to protect your family against mosquitoes, there's still this sweet scented perfume coil now. I repel mosquitoes. I know a man who say baby. And the spray also sweet scented. It kills all crawling and flying insects. Heaven insecticide. Oh, sharp no. Prevention is always better than Mausanka or Heaven insecticide spray. And in the coil, if you say heaven dear.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Universal Merchant Bank, Roma Insecticide Spray and Coil, Shield Gloss Paint, Imperial ODCB and Imperial DCL.
Let's do business now. My name is Eton Amse. Importers will no longer pay the 20% revised fees and charges for registrations to the Ghana Standards Authority. This was after the authority suspended indefinitely the January 1 implementation at an emergency meeting with stakeholders after kicking against it.
A letter dated December 17, 2020 and signed by the Ghana Standards Authority Director General Professor Alex Dodu on January directed the implementation of an approved 20% upward review of existing fees from January 1. The letter stated that the new fees and charges were approved by Parliament in 2019 for implementation in 2020, but was not implemented due to the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on businesses. The January 1 implementation did not sit well with freight forwarders, importers, shippers and the trading public who demanded a meeting with authorities.
In a situation where other agencies try to also increase their tariff, is going to make the cost of doing business at the port very expensive. And they all know that last year was a bad year for all of us. So you can't begin the year with a tariff increment. Now what we have on our table is about the Ghana Standard Authority, who said they are going to increase their tariff by 20%. We are written to them to have a dialogue with them, to have a second look at that.
The authority has suspended the implementation for further deliberations. The authority says, in spite of this, its mandate of developing and promoting standards through testing, inspecting and certifying products will be enforced.
Let's head to the commodities markets now and see how gold, cocoa and crude fared. And price movements on the global commodities markets culminated in a net loss today. Cocoa price barely changed today and hovered around $2,499 per metric ton. Gold price declined by some 0.9% to settle at $1,842 per ounce. Crude lost its bullish run with a price decline of some 1.09% to trade at $56 a barrel.
So Kidivite contains 12 vitamins?
Yes, 12 essential vitamins that growing bodies need.
So we'll grow healthy and strong. And smart?
Absolutely.
Kidivite Multivitamin Tonic contains all the essential vitamins and nutrients needed for the healthy development of children from age 1 to 12 years. Also available, Kidivite Multivitamin Drops for babies under 12 months. Grow strong, grow healthy with Kidivite. Distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters.
tough on stains with longer-lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer-lasting freshness.
What's more bit center free and taxia and then a what in a supply 2 in 1 floor cleaner and a best sew how and what dinner ekum na a sound to pump more 1 kitwa what we are from and my from to wine na enjoy feeling the Caribbean in a supply floor cleaner no Ninka Gumwa hot one na wope bambo mapa every more 1 kitwa ho dia G in a supply Africa D in a supply na no insect no stress Eddie Ashisha said
You've done the hard work, the analysis, the selection. It's all going according to plan. Until City miss a sitter, and you miss your multi-bet by 1. Miss your multi-bet by 1, and we will return up to 20 times your stake. We've got your back, even when City don't.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years.
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
It's time for the sports here on News 360. My name is Theo Nyan. Now, if you didn't know, Ghana has an African chess champion. Yes, 8-year-old Dave Chief Kwanzaa Echampong won the African Under-8 Chess Championship, swatting aside 104 other participants. Now he has set his sights on winning at the world level in Greece later this year. My colleague Yafo Sulabi went out to meet him and filed this report.
My name is Dave Kwanzaa Echampong. I am 8 years old. I attend school at Jack and Jill School. I am in primary 3B.
Dave has had his eyes on a chessboard since he was 4. He was introduced to it by his father David, who teaches chess in schools across the capital. David's impact can easily be felt on his son. In their bookshelf at home, books of the game dominate the ranks. His trophies and certificates are also a major feature in the living room. On the chessboard, he glides through every square, picking up pawn after pawn, knights and rooks, all in a bid to be the first to lock the game up in a checkmate.
Chess is a mind game. It makes me think, and I also like the tactics that people use to win.
Okay. When you were playing the tournament, the one you just won, what was the experience like for you?
Everybody played very well. It was difficult at some points, but it was a good tournament.
What do you dream of anytime you play chess?
To become a grandmaster.
Okay.
And also increase my rating in everything I do in chess.
Dave says he gets his inspiration from Magnus Carlsen, the Norwegian chess grandmaster who is currently the world chess champion and wants to be like him when he is much older.
It happens when white plays e4, black plays c5,
right.
Knight f3, d6, d4, and every time you play the Sicilian, d4 is likely to happen.
Right.
And every time he plays d4, you always have to take on d4.
Okay.
And the reason is that you are taking a central pawn.
Right.
This is the center, and the pawn is in the center, so you are taking a central pawn.
Yeah.
So after you castle, 3 pawns are in front of your king, and now nobody can attack it. So now black can also do the same thing.
Okay. There he is, trying out the Sicilian defense in chess so effortlessly. He is only 8 years, but his points total at his age has already surpassed what many grandmasters were able to achieve when they were like him. He has just won the Africa Under-9 online chess competition after scaling past 104 others. His father is a proud man.
Very, very excited to get him to hear that when he won. In fact, we knew he would do well,
because I can always tell the strength of other kids, online. I can see how strong the field is. So I knew definitely he will, maybe the top 5 will be there. Winning the continental champion, he's getting a trip to Greece to play in the world event, and that is where we'll be meeting a much tougher opponent, and so we are preparing towards that.
The Kwansans are making Ghana very, very proud. That is some very good exploits there by Dave Kwanzaa. And that'll be all for the sports here on News 360. My name is Thierry, and thanks for joining me. We'll bring you some more sports later, right here on TV3. Keep watching.
Oh, baby girl, let me send me I'll take you to the moon one of these days, Makume toffee. Anything for you.
Oh, Kocho. I also wanted to tell you something special. I think I'm in.
Hey, Massa, wouldn't it credit?
Get Gigi.
Massa, I didn't know for that.
Hey, small point at the camp score.
CBG is empowering you to get digi with CBG Mobile. Simply dial *924# and you can conveniently perform your banking activities. Transfer funds without hassle, top up airtime, check your account balance, pay for your utility bills, school fees, request for your cards, and many more.
Oh, baby, sorry. I had some small technical difficulties, so where were we? I am ready.
Oh, darling, don't worry. I will always stand with you.
CBG, we stand with you.
Help fight the spread of germs. Learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Introducing new Sunlight 2-in-1. It gives you burst, after burst, after burst of long-lasting freshness. New Sunlight 2-in-1 for burst after burst of long-lasting freshness.
Hello viewers, I'm feeling very frustrated and bored in Sambulai. I'm very happy. If you don't understand, don't worry, because myself, I don't understand. We'll cross over to our senior reporter for more details.
I'm learning to make a vlog. I'm not funny, I just said. Vodafone, I'm quite set. Ultimate Sanesika to Topia, Emily to Topia. Echo all the network. I will check up there. Me to see Montezo. Diamond for Kenny.
Fifia, Mateo said that you would touch this man on me.
See, the excitement for me is that I get to save a lot on Vodafone cards.
Sending money on Vodafone cards to all networks is now free. Send any amount of money as many times as you like to all networks for free. Dial *110# now to send money.
Any amount for Massimo.
The future is exciting. Ready?
On international front, Donald Trump faces trial in the Senate after becoming the first U.S. president to be charged with misconduct in office for a second time. Mr. Trump is accused of inciting a mob that stormed Congress last week after he repeated false claims of election fraud. 5 people have died as a result. The trial will be held after the president leaves office next Wednesday. If Mr. Trump is convicted, senators could also vote to bar him from ever holding public office again in the U.S. The trial follows Wednesday's vote in the House of Representatives that formally charged or impeached the president with incitement of insurrection for his role in the riots. The Republican president has rejected responsibility for the violence. In a video released by the White House after the vote, he called on his supporters to remain peaceful without mentioning his impeachment. The FBI has warned of possible armed protest planned for Washington, D.C. and all 50 U.S. state capitals in the days before Joe Biden, a Democrat, is inaugurated as the new president of the United States.
We've got more international news on our website. It's 3news.com. Up next is entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Food Lover Special Fragrance Rice.
Now in entertainment news this evening on Throwback Thursday, we celebrate Ghanaian prolific composer and musician, the late Akwesi Ampofo Ejay.
Gifted with proverbial lyrical ability, Akwesi Ampofo Ejay, popularly known as Mr. AAA, is celebrated as one of the iconic highlife music legends. His musical works impacted positively on the lives of many. For more than 3 decades, Akwesi's outstanding work laid a solid foundation for some great highlife icons. Under his tutelage came musicians like Abrantia Machidede, Charles Kwejofosu alias Daddy Lumba, KK Kabobo, and many more. Akwesi formed his own band, Kumapim Royals, and recorded over 40 singles and more than 35 albums. Girl Binti, Fanosa, Eshawobo, and If You Do Good, You Do For Yourself still remain people's favorites. Other songs include Milas, Pemiseye, and Ebetoda. Akwesi Ampofo Ejay died at age 57 at the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi on August 2, 2014, after a short illness.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing,
great music. If you do good, you do for yourself.
A showbo.
Good song.
That song. Anyway, but we want to say thank you so much for staying with us here on News 360. As always, we appreciate your company. I am Alfred Okansi.
And I'm Natalie Ford. There's a lot more news on our website. It's 3news.com. Have a lovely evening.
TV3, in collaboration with 3FM, presents the Return to School Fair. From books to bags to clothes to food to face mask. Date Thursday 14 to Sunday 17 January 2021. For all inquiries to participate as a vendor, call or WhatsApp on 0592 764 279 or 0508 678 483. Another season of TV3 talented kids